my boy.
Yes, sir.
Don, what's up, baby?
What's going on?
What's going on, man?
Happy to be here.
Man, I'm excited to have you here, G.
Yes, sir.
You know
Yes,
what
sir.
I mean? This is your first podcast.
Yeah,
You my
yeah.
first guest, man.
Okay, love
You
it.
know,
Yeah, that's
so we
perfect,
just- we-
man.
we-
big things that stood out to me about this topic is like kind of the blowback that he's received, and we as humans do this all the time, right? Like I have hopes and dreams. Everybody has different visions and everything, and a lot of times we take that beyond ourselves and project that onto other people. And I see that in the writing. I just looked at a couple articles on the way here thinking about it, and it's just like people that were really kind of behind it really had their vision of what it should be. I don't know if he ever promised us the world. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we saw the potential and we kind of created this narrative around it, but I don't know if he ever explicitly made that promise like, you know, I'm forever changing the landscape of HBCU sports and football specifically.
Yeah.
Maybe it was, this is an opportunity. I'm attacking this opportunity just like, you know, the
Any
hundreds of
other-
opportunities he's had his life.
Yep.
And if it helps HBCUs along the way, and if it helps Jackson State along the way, that's icing on the cake.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he necessarily made that promise of like, you know, this is a 10-year long commitment. This is a 20-year commitment.
Yeah.
On my personal behalf to just change the landscape of historically black colleges. Because
Yeah.
that's a lot.
That's a lot.
for one man, you know?
Yes. Let's go help our community,
Uh-huh.
you know, and you go outside, you know, the community to reach back to say, hey, I see you guys.
Mhm.
How could I provide value to you guys? I'm here.
Yeah. And there's good examples of that.
Robert Smith.
Robert Smith.
Mhm.
Yeah, Robert Smith.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, he put his money where his mouth was on something like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's some shining examples of that, but like talking about that on a broader scale, you know what I mean? Like individuals. And I think that's kind of I think that speaks on the theme that plays right into this Deion thing, right? I feel like in the black community, a lot of times we rely on like kind of the charity of like one big charismatic person or one big rich person, and like look to that versus more like of the collective. You know what I mean? Everybody chip in their $20. Like, yeah, that's great to have a billionaire that do something like that, right? That's like, but how much can you replicate that? Let's think a little bit about collective action. Where does my, you know, I ain't got a whole lot, you know, but where does my $20, $40 go?
Yeah.
And that, you know, that speaks to, you know, just the reality of my situation. Like, I went to Northwestern for undergrad, but I went to Howard for law school.
Yeah.
So, you know, I get probably more letters from Northwestern asking for money.
Yeah.
And you talking about a place that has $1 billion
A lot of money.
endowment. So, you know, just thinking like collectively, how can we all contribute to this mission? And, you know, again, like appreciate the baton that the blueprint that Deion laid out in this particular one. But like, all right, what's the next step going forward? And what do we want to do? Because if you took care of your money in the league, you know what I mean? You're not necessarily having to go to, you know, a job that's going to like feed your kids.
Yeah.
If you feeding your kids, but you want to get in this coaching game, you know, go to HBCU.
Go to HBCU.
It's hard to build a $1 billion, you know, facility if you ain't got $1 billion.
You ain't got it. Yeah.
You know, because your pockets ain't set up like that. It's just, that's not what it is.
Yeah.
But if you can build kind of interest, while like with kind of the social media stuff, if you can build interest and like, I want to catch a Jackson State game. You know,
I'm a slide.
Yeah. Like the entertainment value is high there. You know, he's bringing in celebrities. So like something like that could really kind of draw that interest in TV. And you know, you think about, I mean, we got BET. You know, we got a network that can do that. So, you know, we got like, you know, Diddy doing in TV. So like, if we got these TV connections, you know, there could be a money draw there for sure. And one of the things I want to talk about, it's a little shift, but
go for
it.
It
was a historical piece I wanted to talk into that really kind of played into this subject.
What's up?
So I read this book, $40 Million Slave, one of my favorite books of all time.
Okay.
It just talks about the journey of black athletes. So the author of the book played for Morgan State back in the day. So kind of talking about like, all right, we're talking about revenue potential with black, you know, sports, HBCU sports. So he referenced this game in I think it was like September 1968. Kind of very plays into like right now with what's going on with Judge Floyd, like the type of moment. There's a lot of people comparing 2020 to 68. Like,
okay.
A lot of like riots were happening and all of that. So it's a time of like a movement of black unity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everybody's kind of like laser focused on these other issues. So like you see a lot of movement happening. So what they did in 68 is Morgan State played Grambling.
Okay.
At Yankee Stadium. When I tell you they sold out Yankee Stadium for an HBCU football game, and you think about an event
in 68?
68. In 68.
That's old. That's old. That's old Yankee Stadium too.
Yeah, filled that thing up. And you think about an event like that in New York, the cab drivers that's driving people to the game, the vendors that's selling hot dogs, the promoters, the people that are parking the cars. That's like black businesses everywhere eating off of this energy, right?
Yeah.
And what really struck me about that and about reading that book in general, you think about black athletic skill as a commodity in a way, right? So like there's some like people, group of people or race or whatever that have access to oil or like access to land or you know what I mean, and use that resource to like help their the goals of their community, right? So if you think about black athletic talent, it is absolutely a commodity.
Yes.
It's $1 billion industry.
Yes.
And we are really, really good at it.
Yes.
There's football, basketball, golf. If you put it, it's just a reality. We handling business on the courts, on the fields,
facts.
Whatever it is. I mean, we got Lewis Hamilton doing it, and whatever it is, we balling at it, right?
Yeah.
So it's how do you like hone that commodity and make sure that it's feeding our communities. And I think,
but he is showing you how, it's not just about players knowing who you are anymore.
Yeah, right.
It's like, well, how can I, as a player, say I want to attach myself to this?
Yeah.
And it's online going crazy right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And just like understanding social media is huge. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you think about, okay, we're dealing with a funding disparity. We're dealing with facilities disparities. Those are bigger problems.
Yeah.
But like, if you hire the right, let's say 25-year-old kid that understands social media, that understands graphic design, like that's something that goes a long way.
A long way.
Yeah.
And he's the blueprint he's laying down is very interesting because I don't see any other programs doing this.
Nah. Well, so and again, I don't remember exactly, but Eddie George going to Tennessee State, I think that's maybe one of a closer example, because like you look at the coaching landscape in general, and I think that's part of the story as well.
Yeah.
A lot of former athletes aren't getting those same opportunities. I mean, every year we're talking about the NFL, about the lack of head coaches.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, that's happening at the college level, lesser than the NFL, but at the college level as well. So you have these former players that want to stay in the game.
Yeah.
And HBCUs are perfect, like kind of training ground, proving ground. Like, if you're a retired player and you're like, hey, I want to get in this coaching thing, why not go to a HBCU?
Why not?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stars out here. Former stars, they got money. Got way more money than Deion.
Yeah.
It could do some things.
Absolutely. Like the salary isn't necessarily the bottom line. If you took care of your money in the league, you know what I mean? You're not necessarily having to go to, a job that's going to like feed your kids.
Yeah.
You feed your kids, but you want to get in this coaching game, go to a HBCU.
Go to HBCU.
Yeah. If you can build kind of interest with kind of the social media stuff, you can build interest and like, I want to catch a Jackson State game.
I'm gonna slide.
Yeah. Like the entertainment value is high there. He's bringing in celebrities, so like something like that could really kind of draw that interest in TV. And you think about, I mean, we got BET, we got a network that can do that. So, we got like Diddy doing in TV. So like, if we got these TV connections, there could be a money draw there for sure.
That's an interesting perspective. We do have Revolt, they do have BET, and they don't have sports arms.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, I let me see. I'm trying to think. I've maybe seen, since I graduated, I've maybe seen a couple Howard games. Like, like they come here for the Classic.
Yep.
And in basketball, they might play a bigger school, end up on ESPN3, something like that.
Yeah.
But like as an alum, and you got a nice alumni base at these HBCUs.
Oh yeah, especially Howard.
Spread out all over the country.
Yeah.
They want to check out their team.
For sure.
On TV. And like some of the classic games and stuff like that.
Yeah,
are great examples of that.
And HBCU culture is a little different than PWI and Power 5 culture.
Yeah, for sure.
And I see that as a plus. Mm-hmm. Well, and maybe because I'm a band head, you know what I mean? I'm a music guy.
Absolutely,
so I pay attention to stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a totally different entertainment value, element.
Oh, for sure.
Especially for a Revolt or a BET. Because do you remember when BET had a news arm?
Yeah, I remember BET. Had news.
Yeah, and I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like the precursor to Black Twitter.
Yeah, what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm like, okay. I get it.
Hitting on the stuff that we're interested in, the hot topics that are our thing. You know what I mean? This is for us.
It's for us.
Yeah.
So that's interesting, man. Because you hear about.
It's hard to build $1 billion facility.
Yeah.
But like, if the game is recorded, you're getting it produced. Obviously there's some cost around that.
Yeah.
But you think about something that could generate some revenue that is like relatively low overhead. You know what I mean? You got cameras, you're recording the game.
Of course.
Just getting the announcers and whatnot, the commentators. But I mean, I could see like a game of the week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A game of the week every week.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you're gonna have HBCU football on like 4 days a week, like
no. I mean, that wouldn't make sense,
Yeah, but like kind of scale it, and see where the audience is for it. Do a game of the week every week, you know what I mean? That could be something that, again, that TV revenue is such a big chunk of the overall pie.
Yeah.
You could get that. I mean, you got stuff that you got streaming too. You know what I mean? So that's another.
That's another.
Yeah, that's another. Games could be streamed, you know what I mean? So like, you're not necessarily bringing like Saturday game day production value to it, but at least it's out there, and maybe there's some revenue there.
But you could though eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. It absolutely could grow to that.
Because we spend a lot of money as our community, and as you can see with the Jackson State attendance, that some people are just there to support Black folks.
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't care about shit about the game.
Yep.
They don't care about the band.
Nah.
You know what I mean? They was like, they got the colors on, and they just want to be around other Black folks, having a good time.
Yep.
So, wow, that's interesting. And it'll be interesting to see how much money Revolt really be out here getting, though.
Yeah.
And like you say, all it would take is the infrastructure. And the infrastructure is pretty much in place.
Yeah.
I mean, cameras are really,
cameras are easy.
Easy to get,
Yeah.
Integration hurt.
Yeah.
Hurt. But also, I'm not gonna let the HBCUs off the hook. Based off that, when things change, you have to change too. If you see people are coming to recruit your guys, go recruit their guys.
Yeah.
Go to Iowa where they got linemen. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where they got these country fan boys that been throwing haste and stay with 6 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
come on down.
Come on.
Yeah.
Let me get you around this culture.
Yeah, absolutely.
They said the how hard it was going to be to recruit to Colorado. And the people who've gone to Colorado was like, well, I think the past coach was McCartney, but McCartney, he was like, well, The hardest part is getting them here.
Yeah.
And once you get them here, and they see this, they sell it itself. And I was looking at the photo of that place.
Beautiful, right?
Oh my gosh.
Beautiful. Yeah.
You are playing in the mountains.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a view from a stadium that is one of a kind in college football. Yeah. It's funny you say that. So you're talking about Bill McCartney, legendary coach.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I work for his son, Mike McCartney.
Okay.
At the sports agent.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
so you have like direct.
Yeah, so I know the Colorado connection hard, and when he worked for his dad a little bit at Colorado, so had great recruiting stories. And I'm not gonna remember the player's name. It's a big player too. I'm not gonna remember his name, but I think he was from Florida or something. So they were recruiting him, and obviously, the Florida guys
they don't like the cold.
Yeah, they don't mess with the cold.
They don't fuck with the cold like that. No,
so
they
had a plan for this kid. Like when he came on his recruiting visit, they didn't let him go outside. He got off the plane, directly into a car.
Yeah.
They drove him directly into a building. He went from building to building that were connected, like tunnels and stuff. He had like a whole recruiting trip. Dude never went outside there. Like, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
This is amazing. When he came back as a freshman, he was like, hold on, man. Where is all of this cold coming from? I think, it's interesting because I just saw a stat that said, Colorado's had 4 winning seasons since 2000, which is crazy. But with Bill McCartney, they had a run. That's
Was that when they won? What is that when they won like in the national championship in that era, right?
Yeah, they had a run during that time.
Yeah,
and there's definitely things to sell about Colorado. And if anybody can do it, Deion can.
Deion.
But it's an interesting thing. Like, we bring up Jay. We talked about Jay Wright earlier.
Yeah.
And I've seen this, and I can't remember some book I read, but it talked about getting opportunities as a black, whatever, coach, executive, CEO, whatever. You know what I mean? Like when in the hiring process, a lot of times we get our opportunities when the ship is damn near sunk. It's barely afloat, and they put us in these situations, and like sometimes if it fails, that's like that confirmation bias that like, oh, these black whatever CEOs whatever can't lead, they can't. But no, you put us in the worst situation possible. That's the only time we get a chance, and you see that all over. And like I said, in coaching, in business, you know what I mean. Like they don't hand us the keys to the Ferrari. They hand you the little broke down.
Yeah,
you
gotta get the pencils out. You gotta put the speakers in first, dog.
Turn that little crank it up, and it ain't quite starting right. You know what I mean? Get a little oil, might have some transmission fluid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So those are the times they give us a chance to lead, and unless we make a miracle happen, you know what I mean, it's looked at as a failure. But like you got to think about a level playing ground. You know what I mean? Like who can turn this? Who can do what Deion did at Jackson State? I mean, it's not many.
It's not many people that could do it like that.
Do what he did. So you know what I mean? I think. I definitely want to see him be successful, but I think we got to put it in perspective what he's working with.
Well, the guy. They were 1-11 last year.
1-11.
I mean,
nowhere but up.
Ain't
from there.
nowhere but up from there.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then with Nebraska and USC leaving to go to the Big Ten, which I'm pretty sure you're probably excited about.
Yeah, the Big Ten is getting. I mean, it's the way it's moving. It's like, all right, we're gonna have like 2 conferences. You know what I mean? Like everybody kind of joining up.
Yeah,
2 or 3 conferences. But that's exciting.
That's gonna be a big deal.
Yeah,
because USC is one of those legacy programs.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're doing a good job, but that just leaves so much room for Deion to just catapult himself into the. Because I saw this. I saw this one report. It's like, man, if Deion can get this Colorado team to the playoffs, you think those SEC teams are not coming with a $10 million bag?
Bro, the bag would be ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
The bag would be ridiculous. Yeah.
I don't know if Deion will leave Colorado.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Florida State probably would be kind of excited for him.
Yeah.
Something
his
like
alma
that.
mater.
Getting back to his alma mater.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Because he's getting everything he wants now.
Yeah. There's a bigger bag out there, though. I mean, there's always a bigger bag.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
There's always a bigger bag.
True.
I feel like, Colorado definitely, they got a good alumni base. They put some money together, but there's always
Yo, though, I was thinking about this the other day. You watched the Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah.
And you remember the mountain hobbits or the mountain dwarfs.
Yeah.
And how it has a mountain of gold inside those mountains. And I was thinking, man, Colorado.
Yeah.
They are those mountain dwarfs. You know what I mean? It's a. And so when people say, oh, they don't have the money to pay Deion right now.
Oh yeah. Nah, they got.
I said they got that up there, bro.
They got some bread.
They got bread in Colorado.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just you got to tap into it. They don't get. They're not flashy with their money.
Yeah, right.
But if you go to some of them ski clubs up there, bro, you see.
Yeah, exactly.
You see the money.
Exactly. Yeah.
The ski lifts, all that old other shit.
Yeah.
And that's a different experience for somebody, coming out of our community.
Yeah.
Because, oftentimes when you go to these places, you don't see many of us out there.
Boulder, there ain't really a lot of us out there.
There ain't really a lot of us out there, hitting the snow. Come on, man.
Yeah, it's not a lot. So that it's definitely, again, like I just I got a lot of anecdotes and stuff from Mike, but it's definitely some culture shock.
Yeah.
For guys coming from the South, inner city places and stuff, like getting out there to go. But sometimes it could be a relief. You know what I mean? Like you might be coming from a place that like is dangerous. You know what I mean? And like getting up there in the mountains might feel like a cool culture, like a good culture shock in a way. So it'll be interesting to see.
Well, they have a very good competitive advantage up there too. The altitude.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Man, that is, it's not a game.
Yeah.
And like it's one of those things that you don't know until you're there. Bruh, we at Northwestern we played Air Force at Colorado Springs, so that's an elevation. And I never experienced nothing like that in my life. And when I tell you I ran out the locker room just like for warm-ups and was out of breath by the time I was on the other side of the field, I'm like, it's gonna be a long day today. So, it's a lot of top athletes that go up there and train at altitude. So
hey man, I really appreciate you stopping by and having a conversation with me, man. You know what I mean?
Love to do it.
Like this is great, man. So